making a video?
Yeah.
All right. So here's Toby and I. We're here to do our weekly, or we're getting prepared for our next class, and I missed the last one. So So Toby, what did you guys talk about last time when I missed? Can you catch me up?
Yes. So last time we met was actually almost 3 weeks ago now, 2.5 weeks ago. And I was there, and as it happened, Jason Child was there, and he just stayed with us, which was cool, because he showed up with Violet and with Leland, and some of the other kids were there. So that was great. And we were talking about sin, the question of sin. And I'm just going to try to read while she videos. And, you know, different people had different reactions to the idea of sin. One of the things that I heard kids say was, well, sin, it depends on what your religion is, what you think is sinful. You know, you have to look in the list of rules for your particular religion. If you're Jewish, you can't eat pork. If you're Muslim, you can't do this. You have to pray 5 times a day. Whatever the rules are, it's for that religion. And I was like, so sin doesn't really have any universal meaning, or it doesn't mean everything the same thing to everybody, right? But then kids said, but there does seem to be something called morals, or right and wrong, that's more universal. So we had quite a conversation about, well, what's universally right and wrong? So what do you think about that?
Okay. You want to pan over to this way? You're looking at me. Well, I think that makes sense to me. I think that makes a lot of sense, probably.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure that, like, I don't know. It would be interesting to then. Did you guys talk at all about like whether Quakers have sin?
We did a little bit. We talked more about the fact that I think that Quakers have testimonies, so like it's more of a positive thing.
Okay.
Like, these are things to really try to be part of in the world. You know, peace and integrity and those things. So, we talked a little bit, as I recall, about that early Quakers were a little different than we are about the question of sin, and that to me anyway, sin means turning away from God.
Yep.
In fact, I wasn't sure, but I think the word sin in Spanish means without. That word sin means without, and maybe that means without God. I don't know. Not sure. That's the root of it. Yeah.
Are you looking over here, Andrew?
What?
So I think that's very interesting. I think the one thing that maybe I would say for me personally, which is I think very close to what you were saying about being without God, is that I think there's this tendency, this human tendency. You might even call it a universal. I'm not sure, but it's a religious. I think it's kind of comes from a religious perspective anyway, but that there's this tendency in humans to make gods out of things. Like I don't mean like make an idol like a physical idol, but making like an idol out of something that's important to you. So like we were talking about maybe cell phones.
People with
Ooh,
their,
I'll take a cell phone.
yeah, like people with their iPhones, they're like, oh, I love you so much.
Right. Right. And it's not bad to love things. I mean, I do love food.
Yes.
But there comes a point where like you put it in the place, you put things in the place that really only God can hold, and then it kind of, it's like your life is sort of turned upside down and mixed up then. And that to me is sort of the like one way in which so it's like the sin is that you have replaced God with something else.
Right.
And so you broke the relationship.
Yep.
So.
Yep. Makes sense. Of course, it assumes that you believe in God.
It does.
And I think one of the points that one of the kids was trying to make was, well, if you don't believe in God, it's still possible to do something that's wrong. It's just you wouldn't call it sinful.
Right.
Like kill somebody or just take people's stuff without their permission.